From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News Weekend Edition.
Good evening and welcome to our Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. I'm Katie Looper. Our top story tonight. The Seward Highway reopened at 11:15 last night after a crash involving a tour bus and 5 other vehicles. Late Friday, Alaska State Troopers identified the man killed in the crash as 55-year-old John Zollner III of Anchorage. According to troopers, a bus operated by tourism company, the Park Connection, was driving north on the highway at about noon when it struck another northbound vehicle that stopped to wait for cars turning into the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center near Portage. LifeMed helicopters took 2 people to an Anchorage hospital to be treated for serious injuries, and others were taken by ambulances for less serious injuries. There were 42 passengers on the bus, mainly travelers from hotels who were going from Seward to Anchorage. Logging will no longer be allowed in the Tongass National Forest as a result of a ruling by the U.S. Court of Appeals. Alaska U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski said the ruling is a disappointment and a severe setback for the economies of Southeast Alaska. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals lifted the exemption given the Tongass. That rule prohibits road construction and timber harvesting across millions of acres of America's national forests. Murkowski said the ruling would remove nearly 10 million acres, impacting everything from mining operations to renewable energy projects. The 2015 Fairbanks North Star Borough Municipal election will take place October 6th. The period for which candidates can officially file to run for one of the 8 positions up for grabs opens Monday, August 3rd at 8 a.m. The filing period closes at 4:30 p.m. on August 17th. Candidates can file at the Borough Clerk's office in the Borough Administration Building. Filers must have submitted a declaration of candidacy and a finance disclosure statement online with APOC. Dennis Alexander is the latest candidate to declare. He's running for Assembly Seat A, which is currently held by Vaughn Lawrence, who has also declared with APOC. That guarantees a race for at least one of the 3 Assembly seats up for grabs. Last year, incumbents Guy Satley and John Davies ran unopposed. Borough Clerk Nancy Ashford Bingham would like to see more people running for local office.
If you want to make a difference, you need to file for office. I think it's best to have a choice for our community, to have a choice, and that's what it's all about, democracy and having a choice. I'd like to see a lot more involvement in folks filing for office. We have a lot of issues before our community in the next number of years.
The Fairbanks Police Department opened up discussions and addressed concerns involving criminal activity in downtown Fairbanks this past week. Reporter Ryan Grimes was at the meeting and files this report.
The Fairbanks Police Department met with residents of downtown Fairbanks who unveiled the Downtown Community and Neighborhood Watch Initiative. The area of jurisdiction is bounded by Phillips Field Road and Minnie Street to the north, the Steese Expressway to the east, Airport Way to the south, and Cowell Street to the west.
This is actually the 3rd community watch. We've kicked off 2 in South Fairbanks and more to come. This is the downtown.
Attending residents were asked to number their main issues they find to be prevalent in the Golden Heart of Fairbanks. The number 1 topic they agreed on was inebriates causing trouble in the community. Mary Osborne lives in the Northward building, located in the middle of downtown.
It's not fair. This is where we live. We pay rent, and we should be able to feel safe in our own home, in our own community.
Officer Nate Werner was introduced as downtown Fairbanks' official community policing officer. He says he knew inebriates would be the main topic of discussion from the get-go.
It confirmed that is of most importance, that concern to the citizens. There was a few ideas. So, for example, if a door is not secure, you're going to have a lot of problems and break-ins and vandalism, and the chronic inebriates and homeless people may be trying to gain access.
Aragon says he eventually wants to hire 6 additional police officers to help the other 47 sworn officers currently hired at the Fairbanks Police Department. A few weeks ago, Aragon also pitched for 2 cold case investigators.
We need cold case detectives to work on the 14 unsolved homicides since 1983. We need officers to help patrol. We just need some help, and I just hope that the ones that hold the purse strings, of course the City Council will understand that we do need some help and work towards that.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting from downtown Fairbanks.
Okay, when we come back next Friday, the annual Tanana Valley State Fair starts and thousands will gather for 8 days of rides and vendors. We'll have the details. Also, 30 miles north of Fairbanks is a rocket research range that is said to be the largest on Earth. Those stories and more when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Tanana Valley State Fair will kick off another season beginning Friday the 7th and wrap up on Saturday the 15th. Already the first signs are appearing as vendors are constructing and restoring their booths from last year, and soon the rides in Midway will take shape. One problem in the past has been security for the fairgrounds against vandalism and safety for patrons. According to the one official, that problem is now being addressed.
We do have a new security system on our grounds this year, and I have a monitor here in my office where I can see everything that happens on the grounds. Up to 32 cameras within this year, and next year will be mounted around the grounds. So just smile when you're looking at them, or we'll see what's happening. And it's being recorded 24/7, so we will have the security that people have been so concerned about in both the livestock area, horse area, and on the grounds.
And as the opening of the fair approaches, each night next week we'll pass along information to you about what this year's fair will have to offer. And this morning, about 50 women nursed their babies in an effort to set a world record and normalize breastfeeding in the community. Groups of breastfeeding women are coming together at registered locations around the world to latch on their child at a set time. This was Fairbanks' 4th annual Big Latch On and Family Day held outside the Resource Center for Parents and Children. All the mothers gathered at 10:30 to nurse their baby for 1 whole minute. Each mother counted towards the global synchronized event to help break the world record. After that, the mayor read a proclamation declaring August as the local breastfeeding month. The idea was to not only break the world record, but to help support moms in the community.
It's not every day that you get together and see 50 breastfeeding women all sitting down in one place. And so part of the event is to get women support, to show that it's normal, to get everybody together. And so there's not a lot of other places where you'd walk in and see 50 moms nursing their babies all together at once. These moms have come in from all over our community and come here to help support this cause and event and show their support of what breastfeeding and providing breast milk to your baby looks like.
Situated just 30 miles north of Fairbanks is the world's largest land-based rocket research range. And this summer they are offering a rare tour to the public. We took our cameras there and have more in this report. Poker Flats is just off the old Steese Highway and around the corner from the Chattanooga Lodge. Yet both the range managers, Kathy Rich and Robert Valdez, say many people don't realize what they actually do there.
It's kind of surprising. There's a lot of people that have been born and raised in Fairbanks. They haven't got a clue that we exist.
A lot of people, I guess, have misconceptions that we're harboring UFOs or aliens. We don't do any of that. It's all research, all science out here, and out here it's actually rocket science.
Poker Flats was developed in the 1960s, but every year new scientists come and reinvigorate the field. They launch rockets into the upper levels of the atmosphere to study the auroras. However, they don't send rockets into orbit. Instead, they shoot them through the sky like a bow and arrow.
We have researchers coming up from the lower 48, from other countries to do their research here because it's a very unique place. We're perfectly situated at a great latitude to do this research.
From this perfect site, Kaz showed the tour group where they launched the rockets from. With special permission and permits, they can send rockets hundreds of miles north into the tundra. And they have a 100% retrieval rate, so when locals are out flying, hunting, or hiking, they can retrieve the missing sections.
If they do find rocket parts, we do have a $1,200 per piece reward for large pieces.
Sometime between January and March, they set up a 3-week window to launch. Researchers stay in a concrete blockhouse covered with several feet of dirt all night in order to launch during perfect conditions.
So we sit at 10 minutes in holding, waiting for scientific conditions to appear or not appear, as the case may be.
Just like the movies, they give a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2,
And then they push a button for blast off. Valdez says you can feel the ground rumble when it happens.
You hear about it, you see it on TV, but to actually be out here and experience it, it's mind-boggling.
And ultimately, that research gets published into science journals and then gets expanded on by other researchers in the science community.
All of our science is done for the people around us, and we want them to be able to benefit from that.
The Poker Flats Research Range is giving tours every Thursday at 2 until August 20th. I'm Katie Looper, reporting. Mike Fussel's coming up next with all your local sports action. Stay tuned.
And welcome back, Interior Alaska. Mike Fussell here with your latest local action. This weekend, we'll take a look at some sports that we haven't seen in a while. Up first, it may seem a little ways off, but today was the first official sign-up day for the Yukon Quest. The premier dog mushing event is 1,000 miles long and will start in Fairbanks in February 2016. Next year's purse is guaranteed to be $115,000 according to race officials. So far, around 40 mushers have signed up. 9 of the first 21 have been confirmed as rookies. Some well-known names are already in the mix, though, like last year's champion Brett Sass. 2015 runner-up Alan Moore has also signed up for the race. And the Sports Car Club of America is hosting an autocross event at the Carlson Center this weekend. Around 40 participants took to the coned course behind the arena this morning. A mix of everyday cars ranging from Hondas to even a Porsche competed in individual time trials in hopes of achieving the fastest speed. This is the first event of its kind in Fairbanks in more than 30 years. In the Arctic Alaska region of autocross, events have been sanctioned since the late 80s, including a road rally race and rally cross races as well. The event continues on Sunday, where around 25 races will burn rubber on the course.
Well, this course is laid out very well. It was set up under the SCCA rulebook. We have some certain parameters that are needed to be able to run a course. And I feel like this course is very on par with a lot of the regions that I've ran with. And the uniqueness of this course today is that I am not running my own car. I am just borrowing a car, so I do not know how to drive it. But, it's all fun and games.
Well, it's doing good. It's an old car. It's got the old, it's basically a Volkswagen engine in it, air-cooled. It's light, so it does pretty good.
And the Fairbanks men's and women's rugby teams hosted the Golden Days tournament earlier today. All the action happened at Newby Field in North Pole. Rugby is a contact sport that combines ground attack style rushing with various types of kicking. About 15 teams from around the state came to play modified 10-on-10 fixtures. The Fairbanks men's squad lost a close match to the Bird Creek Barbarians, 19-15. And the Lady Ravens Fairbanks team took on the Anchorage Select side in their first game of the day, but ultimately did not get the W either. Anchorage scrum half Mackenzie James says she adapted to what the game threw her way.
Same old, but we always have a different team every week. We're always a motley crew, but sometimes they'll have a really strong back line out there and no forwards, which are like the bigger guys running in, scoring tries, and today we had a lot of forwards, so I kind of integrated myself into the forward position and tried to play with them, which both are really fun, both very different games, but you just don't know until you get out there and see what you have and what the other team has.
I think the word of rugby is coming out in Fairbanks, and just in Alaska in general. We've had a great influx in women's rugby specifically, coming out and girls just saying, hey, here's a sport I can play. Men too, all kinds of rookies. 5 minutes into training and they're like, I'm here for life. This is what I need to do. So.
And the Alaska Gold Panners are on the road this weekend, finishing up their season. And after being literally stopped on the highway and missing a Friday night game, the team made it to Anchorage to take on the Bucks this morning. Maybe it was the early start, but the matchup between the Panners and the Bucks didn't get rolling until after the third inning. The Bucks would score 3 runs in the 4th and 5th and hold off all scoring from the Gold Panners until late in the game. But the Fairbanks squad would make things interesting. They evened up the scoreboard 3-3 in the top of the 8th. The Bucks, though, would score 1 more run and walk away with the 4-3 victory. Both teams finish out regular season play tomorrow against each other in Anchorage. And that about brings us to the buzzer for sports tonight. Katie Looper has your full weather forecast coming up next. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next weekend.
Welcome back to our Saturday edition. So, Mike, it looked like a pretty nice day out there, and then things kind of got gloomy.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate. It was drizzling out there. It's pretty dark, but yeah, will things be looking like that next week?
Well, I think we might have a few more days of this, but hopefully things will clear up for the fair.
Great, great.
So let's take a look at weather for today. We had a normal high today of 64, a recent low of 50. A record high got up to 90 in 1976, and a record low of 38 in 1926. Now our sun rose at 4:52 this morning and sets at 11:02 this evening. Our daylight equals 18 hours and 11 minutes, so we still have quite a bit of daylight there, but we are decreasing 7 minutes from yesterday. Now around the state today, rain showers in Juneau and Ketchikan, temperatures in the mid-60s. As we look over to the west, Anchorage and Kodiak are sunny around 70 degrees, yet cloudy skies in Cold Bay at 56. Moving up north, Nome is partly sunny at 51 and cloudy skies in Borough at 37. Lastly, in Fairbanks area, 56 degrees, partly sunny skies with some scattered rain showers. Now for lower 48, 92 in Seattle, nice sunny skies. Hot temperatures in Salt Lake and Vegas, 103 in Phoenix. As we look over to the east, Minneapolis is at 86. Nice temperatures in New Orleans, 93. Some rain showers in Miami, around 90 degrees for them as well. And up there in New York, 90 and partly sunny skies. Back in Alaska, mostly cloudy with isolated rain showers for Barrow, Nome, and Fort Yukon. Nice temperatures in Fort Yukon at 73, a little colder in Nome at 56, and 48 in Barrow. Now as for the interior, hazy with smoke and isolated showers interior Alaska, temperatures around 70 degrees. Moving down to the east, we can see cloudy skies with isolated rain showers in Juneau and Ketchikan, temperatures in the low 60s for them. On the west side of our state, partly cloudy in Cold Bay and Bethel, and mostly sunny for Kodiak. Nice temperatures in the mid-60s for Bethel and Kodiak, and 58 for Cold Bay. Now lastly, for our south central region, mostly sunny in Anchorage and Homer, partly cloudy at Valdez. Now for tonight's forecast, 45 degrees, scattered rain showers with some patchy fog and smoke. Tomorrow we should expect temperatures around 68, partly cloudy with isolated showers and smoke again. Now for extended outlook, temperatures look like they're going to be raising up to about 75, and then our nightly temperatures are going to hang around 55. So it looks like a nice week. Hopefully, things will look good for the fair.
Right, that's a pretty steady outlook there. It's nice to start getting some nighttime back.
Yeah.
Really illuminated a full moon that was out there yesterday, so that was really cool. It was finally dark enough again.
I know, we kind of get the normalcy of, like day and night for a little while, and we always expect rain during the fair time. Right. Things are changing.
Well, It's a good week. Hopefully it'll be different.
Yeah, let's hope for that. All right, well, that'll wrap up the Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News, and we're glad you could join us.
Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night. Enjoy your weekend.